Okay, today take a little Limodot LG4100S. This is 120 volts, so this is going to work in a standard household outlet. It's 18 liters, which is approximately 5 gallons. 1.3 horsepower, so it's a little bit stronger than the 2100, and it is 70 decibels. So 70 decibels is still a little bit louder than the 60 decibels that you get out of the smaller compressor, but it's still much quieter than you get out of a standard household compressor. So we got a quick start guide, we've got instructions, and we have got the compressor. So it comes with 2 wheels and a foot, but it's a nice solid foot that's going to go on the front. I also like this very large wheel, so we can roll that around the shop. You don't have to worry about going over rocks or anything like that. So this does come with a filter, and I've actually been told that the filter will make it even quieter. But the main reason you want to use a filter is because it's going to keep all the particles that would be going into the pump out of the pump. It also has this little hose, and that will extend the life of the compressor. It's kind of cool. It actually has the dimensions of the wheel written on here. So it is 12.1 by 33.5. So we got a shoulder bolt. That's going to go right through there. Then we got a washer, lock washer, and a nut to go on the other side. So washer, lock washer, and nut. And for the front foot, we're going to take the hollow side. So this is the bottom. Run the bolt through that. Then on the top, a washer and a locking nut. So on the bottom, we got a drain valve, which is always a very good thing to have. It is also nice to know that this is a legitimate ball valve. So these are much better than those ones that just screw. This is a very good drain valve. So whenever you get done with it, at the end of the day, want to open that up, let whatever water drain out, and that way you don't got to worry about rust in the tank. We got a blow-up valve, which is very important. So if for whatever reason this tank becomes overpressurized, you don't have to worry about that because it will automatically pop here and release the air. So very important to have safety. We got a handle here on the front, so we can easily roll this thing around. And I do like that it rolls around very easily. We got a nice thick power cord, which is great. We got our quick release coupler. We got our tank pressure gauge, so whatever's in here is going to show up on this reading. And then we have a regulator, so we can actually reduce the pressure coming out of here, and we'll get that reading on this gauge. So if you have a tool that only uses 80 psi, you can reduce that so you don't have to worry about damaging the tool. They've got a lever switch right here. So we can use that to turn on and off the compressor. So if we're going to be draining this thing out, we don't want it to continuously run, we can just flip that switch. And we are compressing. So this is 70 decibels. It is a little louder than the 60 decibels, but it is still much quieter than a standard air compressor. Cool. It does shut off automatically. So we're at almost 120 psi, and if I plug this guy in, I do really like that about these particular couplers, because most of them I have to pull this thing back in order to unchuck it, but with this one I just have to press it in. Very cool. That has got a ton of pressure on it. So I was using that at full pressure, so I used a lot of air pretty quickly. If I want to reduce that, I can go up here. Right now it's at 115, so if I bring that down. Cool, so that is actually reading real time. So right now I want to do a comparison between their ultra quiet 60 decibel compressor, the 70 decibel compressor that we're looking at in this video, and then the pancake compressor that I got up there. So it should be quietest, quieter, and then loudest. Let's see the ultra quiet. And it doesn't even make sense how quiet that thing is. That is crazy quiet. Now this is a much smaller tank. It is about 2 gallons, so it's going to fill up much quicker. Plus we got 2 pumps, so let's just see how long that takes. Okay, now let's go to the 4.8 gallon. It's not really that much louder. Realistically, I do notice it wants to move around on its own, so it does vibrate a bit, but it's not really that much louder. Okay, so it did take a bit longer, but it is now full, and it is also more than twice the capacity of this one. So what that means is if you needed to unplug that and wheel it out to your car, you could fill up your tires with this, whereas with this one, you might need to recharge it a time or two. Hard to say, it really depends on the volume of the tires and what PSI you need to meet, but this is a larger tank, so it's gonna have more usability. If you just want super quiet, this is the one that you want. But it is definitely usable. Like, you can hear that this thing is running. Like, if you're in the shop working, you're gonna know that this thing is running, but it's definitely not gonna be blowing at your ears like most other compressors. So now let's compare that to the pancake compressor. Yeah, Yeah, it's just, I mean, ultra quiet compressors, they are really the only way to go, especially if you're going to be working in your garage and you want to have just, you know, an enjoyable time. These compressors, these things are awesome. So if you want the absolute quietest, this one's the way to go. If you want to have wheels, so it's a little bit more portable, you want to have a little bit more capacity, this one is the way to go. But compared to non-ultra quiet compressors, both of these things are very quiet.